Welcome, everyone, to the AFW after show for World's End. That was quite the show, but without further ado, let's play our intro.
We're clear for takeoff.
That's all systems go. We need that AFW logo up stat.
You're watching the AFW Network.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your after show reviewing the end of the frickin' world, according to AEW. It is December 28th.
Is this the end of the world as we know it?
As we know it, and I'll be fine. I got my orange crush.
Maybe that should have been the video package song and not Guns N' Roses.
Perhaps. It's December 28th, 2024. You're watching the AFW Network. I am Mr. Saturday Night here, the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs. The guy next to me, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Before I introduce myself, I would like to give a shout out to JFB and Jessica. Especially Jessica. She's in the hospital. We love you. She had a brain aneurysm with bleeding, and she's in the hospital now. She's not quite out of the woods, but she's doing better. Just the outpouring from the AFW community on this one.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you guys for your support.
Yeah, and for those of you who are just, kind of casuals that watch once in a while, JFB is the other bald guy with glasses on the show that usually co-hosts with Canada Dry here, and it's his girlfriend that's in the hospital. So we want to send well wishes to them, and it's good to hear that she's doing better for sure.
Okay, with that being said, I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada effing Dry, damn it, and I'd like to give a shout out to my good friend Tim Tobin, the Pancake Man.
That guy definitely makes some good ass pancakes. And I mean, he's always putting pictures in our group chat of pancakes. And it just makes me hungry because I love pancakes. I grew up loving pancakes. It's always my bread of choice for breakfast.
This Pancake Man character that he does is over like Grover.
It is. I mean, just such a simple concept, pancakes. Like, you have to be some Neanderthal not to love pancakes. I mean, let's be real here. But you guys know, we don't do this as often as we used to in the past, but we are still a triangular team right here on the AFW Network. And we've got this good-looking American hero down below with this professional backdrop. An amazing gentleman. Go ahead and introduce yourself, fine sir.
Good evening, everybody. It is I, Commissioner Joe, of our AFW Prediction League and the EVP of everything that is AFW. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen? I know we've had a nice long night of wrestling.
So you got this for Christmas. Can you step aside so you can show everyone what it is? That's Justy Fighting. That amazing. Is so cool to see that in your backdrop.
Like I said, cool this is a work in progress. I will figure everything out, so hopefully you'll be able to see it better. That's the plan, at least. So
that is awesome, dude. That is awesome. And I plan to try to put some stuff on my walls eventually too. And we're gonna have a good setup here, and we're all gonna look very professional.
Now, did you guys hear about this new shot of Bigfoot that's going around?
No. I haven't.
Yeah, this Bigfoot picture. It's almost as good as that one that was, that one that was in the 80s or 70s or whatever, the one where he's walking in the forest.
The one that's like in the clear opening that he's sort of looking over at the camera.
Yeah. So you guys ready to see? I got picture this.
You got it? All right, let's do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there in the Great Smoky Mountains or the Rocky Mountains or wherever, usually the Smoky Mountains is where people tend to see Bigfoot the most in my neck of the woods. You see or you hear something walk by and you just hear, Cookies. You better stay in your tent, okay? Because this guy might rip your testicles off. You just don't know.
I feel like if you got some cookies, you could frisbee them away enough to, get some good ground.
Possibly. If you've got a good spiral to your frisbee toss, I'd say that's a distinct possibility of survival. But if not, those testicles are coming right off.
Now, I've heard that the Bigfoots actually have the ability to send messages to your mind. Have you heard this one?
I've never heard of telepathy being part of the Bigfoot species, no.
Yeah, I guess it's just like it's kind of intertwined with the theory that they're aliens.
Interesting. I'd never heard that theory. Like, the theory that I heard is that they are a breed of American ape. That's the theory that I've heard. There's a clinical term even, and I know we talked about this on After Dark once. It was probably like months ago, but there's actually a clinical term called the American wood ape that people think is the actual name of Bigfoot.
I mean, a lot of them think they're related to or closely related to Gigantopithecus, which was the massive.
There's some like if you watch some of these paranormal shows, some believe they have the ability to go into stealth mode where you can't see them at all, or they're invisible.
Interesting. I like the Predator.
Yeah.
They walk around with just a barely a little.
The weird thing about this is that you never find a dead one or bones of it.
Yeah.
So are they they also could be interdimensional beings?
I think it's option D. They don't fucking exist.
No, I think it might be option.
I think we got proof here. Come on.
Honestly, I think it's option C. It's just we haven't explored everything there is to explore. So.
Joe's a believer. Okay.
I kept on trying to recreate this with AI, and I kept on getting this stumpy little cookie monster in the forest eating cookies. I'm like, no, make it bigger.
Were you trying to have him walk through the forest?
I was trying to see if I could replicate something like this.
Alex, look, you say I'm a believer, and I'll tell you why I'm somewhat of a believer.
All right, go ahead.
Because if you look through all of time and history, through all the different civilizations, there's always something of like a giant ape-like creature that exists. And there's no way for all of these different communities to effectively communicate with each other for the story to make it around the globe without there having to be some truth to it. It's sort of like how all the different religions have something of a great flood.
Yeah.
So there's this show called Missing 411.
Okay.
Documentary. And there's these people that just go missing. They're with their friend, and all of a sudden, boom, they're gone, and no one finds them. And my theory is that Bigfoots are grabbing them, taking them off into the forest.
It's possible. You never know.
All these people just disappear.
Just a little bit south of me, kind of further into JFB and our pal Tiffany's territory, down in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, there's an annual Bigfoot conference of like people that get together and they discuss the latest evidence of Bigfoot's existence. This is a real thing. You can look it up. Yeah. So what is it Ayaka said? I'm starting to turn into Angle. Yeah.
Here's Kurt Angle.
Ayaka, where have you been? I haven't seen you in like months. You just reappeared out of nowhere?
She's been busy eating tofu.
Oh, no, she escaped Bigfoot.
Do they have Bigfoot in Japan?
They have something. Over in Asia, they have a giant orangutan-like creature.
Okay. I was going to say, is it like a lizard creature, kind of like Godzilla or something?
No, not quite.
All right, gentlemen.
I feel that just to close out this Bigfoot little session, we need this.
Knowledge is power.
We gained some good knowledge there, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's some Bigfoot knowledge here.
Damn good knowledge. That's what you get on a Saturday night right here on the AFW network. All right, let's go ahead and get into the matter at hand, gentlemen. AEW Worlds in 2024. let's go ahead and start talking about the opening match. The Continental Classic semifinal, Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay, which of course was won by Will Ospreay. What an absolute clinic of a match. And my God, I don't feel good for anybody that had to follow this match because this was absolutely incredible. It was gory. They didn't go over the top with the high spots. They kind of reeled it in a little bit and used more psychology, which I love. Kyle Fletcher looks like a monster now. Since he buzzed his head, he's packed on some muscle. He's changed his gear. He looks like a brand new man. And I think he's incredible. I think he's got a star quality about him. I think Ospreay is absolutely incredible. And I think this was an amazing 5-star match, in my opinion. Commissioner Joe, I'll start with you. What did you think of the opener?
God, this match was a banger. Like, I made the joke of the fact this match had to be first because they needed as much time as possible to recoup for Will to get his energy back because they just went and went and went. Like, Will had that Crimson Mask down perfect. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a better Crimson Mask in wrestling. There's been quite a few good ones.
It was very
glad.
good.
I mean, it makes sense that he won because he had to get his win back over Fletcher. But like you said, Fletcher looks absolutely phenomenal coming out of this C2.
Yeah.
And to your regards, like, he just looks like a modern day young Randy Orton is what he looks like.
He does.
Jacked, he's got the buzzed head, and he's freaking phenomenal. Like, they've said it before, and I know it's kind of cliche, but he is absolutely the future of wrestling.
I absolutely agree. Can't F and Dry, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, you said he's like a young Randy Orton. I think he's like a Randy Orton and a Cena mixed with Will Ospreay. The proto star.
Like just from like the bodybuilding, the shaved head, he sort of looks like
the aesthetic. Yeah.
I thought this was also like I agree with Tiffany. This was a banger. And to me, like, I don't know which was better, this one or the other one that they had last month.
This one.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because this one's so fresh, and I don't want to discount that one because it's far away.
I think this one had more psychology and storytelling in it than Full Gear.
I agree with Joe. Yeah.
I'm leaning that way, but I don't want to discount that match, is what I'm saying.
Look, saying that this match tonight is better than Full Gear isn't saying Full Gear sucked. It's just this one's just a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm remembering that one correctly, I guess, as well. But the interesting thing about the Crimson Mask and wrestling, you never see a wrestler wipe blood out of their eyes. Never. That's like wiping money out of their eyes. They're so carny, they won't do that. They're like, are you kidding me? That's money I'm wiping away. They love the aesthetic. Like, even Will Ospreay, when he comes out later, he does not wash all that blood. He's like, I need it.
Yeah.
But it was a hell of a match.
Yeah, and one thing, bring it back to the point of the blood, I assume the blow was a pre-planned spot. I don't think it was a hard way bust. I think he gigged. And I think it was perfect that Kyle Fletcher was wearing all white. You know, I love the subtleties here of storytelling. He's wearing all white, and he runs his boot across the face of Ospreay. So his perfectly white, shiny boots are now just full of just crimson red. Like, I love little touches like that.
Well,
I think that's fantastic. That's brilliant.
Ospreay was wearing all white too tonight.
Yeah.
Can we quickly talk about the part after where they're interviewing him?
Sure.
Oh God.
So the cuts are all cleaned up, and he hits him up and makes him bleed again.
Yeah, he did the Ric Flair. You remember Flair always did that on Nitro? Start hitting himself in the head, make himself bleed.
I will tell you, that promo that Will cut got me pumped. Like
Yeah.
he just has a way to get you like excited and ready to go.
Oh, for the one afterwards he did.
The one where he was backstage with
Yeah, you made himself bleed.
Renee. Yeah. Yeah.
That was
That was brilliant. It was great. I absolutely loved it. And for those of you who are wondering, the results I have pulled up here are from WrestleZone.com. They gave that match a grade of an A. So they agreed with us. Match number 2.
I'm curious to see what like if you could keep that up. I like that little feature to see what they
Yeah.
graded.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what they graded it, and we can compare it to what we thought about it. Yeah.
how they suck and we're the best.
Yeah, I think an A is fair.
I think an A's fair, too. Yeah, I think so. I probably would have went A+, but yeah.
I mean, do they do plus and minus?
I don't know. This is the first time I pulled up WrestleZone results. I usually do like Figure 4 online or something like that, but I was like, I'll try WrestleZone this time. Maybe it's got a cleaner format with a bunch less ads and potential spyware. So
Isn't that nice where we're plugging WrestleZone tonight?
hey, WrestleZone's been around like 20 years, man. They're an old website.
I've never
I
even
mean-
heard of them. So
Oh, I mean, they've been around since like 2002 or something like that, like a long time. But anyways, match number 2. Continental Classic semifinal number 2, Kazuchika Okada versus Ricochet. Wow. I absolutely love this match too. And it's going to be a broken record because I kind of loved most of the matches on this card. Ricochet, again, kind of like the two gentlemen in the first match, reeled in the high spots a little bit. Use some psychology. He's working the crowd a little bit. He's embracing this new heel persona that he's never really been able to show before. And I think he's doing fantastic. Maybe I'm biased. He's a Kentuckian like I am. But I'm a big fan of Ricochet. I have been for a long time. And I think he's doing some of his best work ever right now. And Kazuchika Okada, obviously, I've sung the praises of Okada since my very first podcast here on this channel. I love the dude. He's one of the best wrestlers of the past 20 years, bar none. And he proves it. I love the fact that Okada tonight got to be old school Rainmaker Okada. You know, it's cool for him to come out with the suit and call people bitches and follow the Young Bucks around, but this is what he is actually good at. He's good at just going in the ring, putting together a technical, methodical match that tells a brilliant story. And that's what this did. I thought this was fantastic again, and I was glad to see Kazuchika Okada get the victory. Can't F and Dry, what did you think of match number 2?
I agree with you. The storytelling in this was brilliant. And it doesn't take away the fact that we've seen these guys wrestle before.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this. Ricochet and Okada, they have like that different sort of way of wrestling. And I think Ricochet sold really well in this. I just wanted to show this. Ayaka goes, "Where can I watch the pay-per-views?" So I responded, "Does this look like Google?"
I pay per view, not like pay per view, pay per view, like reading a newspaper, I guess.
We're gonna watch the pay-per-views.
like to be fair, I couldn't even answer this question if I wanted to. Everything is changing here soon, so I don't. There's so many new TV rights negotiations going on. I don't even know what the answer is.
I'm really hoping that pay per view becomes a thing.
Dollywood in the chat.
What's up, Dollywood? Shout out to Dollywood. Millennial Noob in the house. He was taking a shower. That's okay, man.
He was in the shower. He was in the shower washing himself up, and he began to think of us.
Well, Noob, I am so happy that you got yourself cleaned up for the AFW network tonight. I love it. I love it. Ayaka says I'm sounding Canadian. I don't know what she means by that. I'm not saying a or a boot. So I really don't know how I sound Canadian.
Rebecca thinks it's funny.
Well, of course she does, because she's a Southerner like I am. She's like, he ain't no damn Canadian.
Now I say Southerner.
Southerner, yeah. Yeah, we went over that, I think, last time we did a show together, right? Southerner.
Yeah, we sure did.
Okay, where was I at? All right, Commissioner Joe, I think we're up to you, right? What'd you think of this match?
Yeah, this is another great match. I mean, like you said, I felt bad because I had to follow what happened in that first match, but they lived up to it in a different way. Like this was definitely a slower, more methodical match. But like, yeah, I'm loving this character work from Ricochet. Like, it's great, and I can't wait to see where he goes next. Because are we going to talk about what happened after the match?
Sure, go ahead.
Because I got to give Ricochet his flowers. That man stood in the middle of the ring and let Prince Nana hand out about 50 rolls of toilet paper and just let him throw it on him like they were streamers. Now, for those of you that don't know where this originated from, they ran a couple episodes at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and what was it? It was, I think it was the Collision. Could be wrong. Maybe it was Dynamite. I don't remember. But we had the
Collision.
We had the C2 round robin match of Ospreay versus Ricochet, and Ospreay got hit with the streamers, and they threw toilet paper at Ricochet, and it had Ospreay dying on the outside. So
Yeah.
I have to give Ricochet his props to sit there and take that, what amounts to humiliation on pay-per-view, which you know is going to go viral on Facebook. Like, more power to you, sir.
But it's not a bad thing. You are getting heat.
Yeah. He's building his character.
You're being a heel.
Yeah,
it's
but
beautiful.
I don't know anyone else who would sit there and say, I'll stand in the middle of the ring and just let toilet paper be thrown on me.
Anybody that's a good
heel will.
Anybody that's a good heel would be like, yeah, throw that shit at me, dude.
Yeah, I'd be all over that from the heel. Like, yeah.
Can you imagine if you presented that to Rick Rude or Kurt Hennig back in the day? They'd be like, fucking come on with it, man.
Yeah.
Throw that at me.
And I feel like all that, like, there's no real heels anymore because they all want to be cool heels.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody wants to be that NWO heel, the cool heel. They don't want to be the heel that everybody hates. But just to kind of piggyback on what Joe said here, we can kind of talk about that a little bit too. After the match is over, we hear Swerve's music play. Swerve comes out. Prince Nana comes out with this cup of coffee. And like, what was it like? What did he have? Like a wheelbarrow or a shopping cart or something?
It was like a pull along.
Oh, like a wagon or something.
Wagon type thing.
Yeah, it was full of toilet paper rolls. And went out and handed toilet paper to a bunch of people in the audience who proceeded to throw it at Ricochet. The only time
Dollywood's saying, I think she's saying anyone who would get that money would be happy to take that.
Yeah, and anybody who's playing the heel role and wants to make money as a heel would do that. So, I mean, like I said, present that idea to Rick Rude in 1992.
Yeah.
He ain't turning that down. Like, he's going to love that idea.
And it's interesting that they're taking Swerve and putting him on Ricochet now.
Yeah.
Well, they've had some good chemistry the last couple of weeks on Dynamite and Collision. Good interactions, calling themselves by their real names. It seems like maybe they're pushing Bobby Lashley further down, maybe making Ricochet a mini boss first, maybe. I don't know.
I think Ricochet ends up joining the Hurt Syndicate at some point.
Yeah. I think that's the case too. Yeah.
They did mention in the pre-show that Ricochet and MVP are playing grab ass.
Ayo.
I'll tell you what, though. If we don't, honestly, if I was directing this this Dynamite coming up on Wednesday, it's a cold open to just Ricochet destroying someone backstage. That's what he should be. That's what he should do.
So Dark Order, you better watch your back.
Yeah.
They should change their name to the Dork Order.
Yeah, that's what Cornette always called them, the Dork Order.
Can I bring something up from the first match that I forgot to mention that I found absolutely hilarious?
Sure, go ahead.
So Fletcher is standing on the the LED board sitting there posing, and someone has a sign that says Osprey is better than Fletcher, or Osprey's better, and Kyle Fletcher rips it up. The guy, without missing a beat, pulls up a second sign that says Osprey's still better.
I wonder if this was a plant.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. It got me laughing though. So
It was funny though. Yeah, it was
Oh, yeah.
funny.
Even if it's a plant.
Commentators mentioned it too. Yeah, that is really funny. WrestleZone ended up giving this match a B. Just so you guys know. Does anybody have anything else you want to say about this segment before we move on?
I think a B is fair.
I think so too.
I think I'd even go as far as like a B plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, B plus.
But again, I don't know if they're doing plus or minus. Who the hell knows? This is
Well, we can add plus or minus if we want.
this is people completely unrelated to AFW. So
Yeah, so we want to get B plus or B minus as we can.
eventually they're going to give me a rating that's going to piss me off, and I'm going to be like wanting to call them out.
No.
But up next, we got the Tijuana Street Fight for the AEW Women's World Championship. Mariah May, the champion, versus Thunder Rosa. And of course, Mariah May ends up winning this in a very violent, brutal, fun match. We saw a pinata full of thumbtacks, and this was glorious. This was just fun violence. I enjoyed this immensely. And, I think obviously the right decision was made for Mariah May to win. I thought she looked like $1,000,000. I thought Thunder Rosa did really well. I liked the spot with Thunder Rosa's dad, who just, looked like a random dude on the front row with a cowboy hat. Mariah May stole his hat and stole his cane and mocked him. I thought that was brilliant. This was a really good match that I thoroughly enjoyed. And, thumbtacks in the ass. You got to have that at least once on an AEW card, right? Commissioner Joe, what'd you think of this match?
Yeah, it was a good match for what it was. I'm kind of over women's hardcore matches because it just feels like it's the same thing. And I think I just want more out of a women's title match. Like I don't feel like Mariah May has done anything of note since becoming the champion.
Right.
Which kind of sucks because it just seems like they're just waiting for this whole Tony Storm thing to play out, which I think is a detriment to Mariah May.
And it's a detriment to the women's title because the women's title is kind of being held hostage.
Yeah.
I will say, and we'll get to this later when we talk about the TBS title match, but I feel the TBS title, just like when Jade Cargill was here, is a bigger deal than the women's title.
It feels that way.
Yeah, it feels more prestigious. It feels like Mercedes is more the real champion instead of Mariah May, just like it felt like back then that Jade Cargill was the real champion over whoever had it at that time. But we'll get to that later. But yeah, Canada Dry, did you comment on this match?
No, I felt that it was a good match. It had some fun spots in it, like you mentioned. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see if I can foretell what maybe they're gonna say. I'm gonna say this is a B match as well.
Okay. I know you're not much of a Thunder Rosa guy, so I figured you probably wouldn't like it too much.
I'm not a huge Thunder Rosa guy, no, but this is kind of her specialty.
I feel like Thunder Rosa tried to summon her inner Stone Cold with the way she was dressing tonight.
Yeah. I thought she looked badass. I thought that what was it, the Storm Zero through the table at the end. That was pretty brutal too.
Yeah, because that table did not give.
No.
I do like that ramp spot she does. It looks cool.
Yeah. I mean, there was some good stuff here.
Joe, what do you let's see if you can summon what you think this match is going to get rated. What do you think?
I think it's a B.
Yeah.
All right.
Before you look, Jeremy, what do you think?
I think they're probably going to say it's a B.
If they go anything below a B, we're calling them out.
Let's see. WrestleZone gives that match a B. So there we go.
They have staved off execution for another match.
I remember one. I don't remember which pay-per-view it was, but one of these, I was reading the Figure 4 online results, and like I went into a whole tirade about one of the ratings. Do you guys remember that?
Vaguely.
I don't remember who it was now, but
Rebecca,
yeah.
what are you saying is garbage? I hate that I'm not able to keep
That the
a time.
TNT title feels more important than the women's world title.
Yes, that is
TBS, yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
sorry,
think that's what she was
TBS
saying,
title.
yeah.
My bad.
I think she was agreeing with us on that point.
Yeah, okay.
Now we got the Dynamite Diamond Ring match. MJF versus Adam Cole. We got Mike Bennett, Matt Taven at ringside. They don't even get an introduction. They're just there. So this
Just say thanks,
obviously-
Joe Gary.
Joe Gary. Oh,
He's scowling at me.
he's like, my beard's different, damn it.
Your beard's nicer.
All right. Well, you guys know my feelings of the storyline leading up to this. I think it's been dog shit. I don't like the fact, again, that they made MJF the heel, Adam Cole the baby face when they spent a whole half a year last year doing the reverse. But all that aside, I do think this was a very good match. These two definitely work well together. They definitely have chemistry, and they put on a damn good match. And what I thought would happen didn't exactly happen. I did think that Bennett and Taven were going to side with MJF. And I still think that might happen down the road if this continues. I don't know if it will or not, but if it continues, I think that will happen. But, MJF ends up winning. He gets the Dynamite ring, and, MJF is going to use the ring. Cole takes the ring. There's a distraction from Bennett and Taven, and a good old kick to the groin, and
No, call it what it is. Swift kick to the dick.
Kick to the dick, heat seeker, 1, 2, 3. MJF once again has the Dynamite Diamond ring.
Can I just say, I think at this point he should never lose this thing.
I don't think you should either. It's like permanently his.
I think at some point he should. If the right person comes along. Has to be the right person, though.
I don't know if there is a right person though. That's the thing.
Not right now, but there could be.
Joe, what'd you think of the match, my man?
Yeah, I thought the match was great. Like, honestly, I thought we were going to get that classic spot where either Taven or Bennett just takes the ring and places it in the ring, and you don't know who they're giving it to, and MJF ends up with it, and that's how he wins.
Yeah.
I really thought, like, I agree with Dollywood. There should have been more story in this match. The match was great. What storytelling they did was really good, but I wanted more.
Yeah.
Especially then after when Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly came out, I thought for sure they were all going to turn on Adam.
I did too. They were drawing it out so much. I was like, they're all going to gang up on Adam Cole.
But even when they were
with that
walking
said,
away,
but
Kyle O'Reilly was right behind him. It was looking sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that said, this is the absolute right thing to happen. Bring all of these guys together because you know what? Now you have a group of 5 who can be clear baby faces, who can go up against the Death Riders, and the numbers are more even.
Now, is he out of the conglomeration? Is he part of this group? He wasn't wearing the shirt.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the conglomeration is done. That felt like just like a little summer thing just to tie some people together.
I'd be pissed off if I bought a shirt.
No.
Or you just have a piece of history.
Yeah.
If you're one of the 15 people that bought a conglomeration t-shirt.
The one with the big willow head on it, she wasn't really even part of it for like.
She was there for a cup of tea.
Yeah, for a couple matches. Like she got on a shirt. She's like, they're not really a member.
Gentlemen, what do we think they gave this match? Do we want to continue guessing this the whole rest of the way?
If they did minuses, I would say A-, but I think it'll be a B.
I haven't seen a plus or a minus yet, so
So I'm going to also say this is a B because, but I didn't. Did he speak on this? I didn't speak on this. Joe spoke, right?
Yeah, I spoke on the match.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like I thought that this was a really it was a classic match of these two, but it wasn't as good as they're all in for sure.
Absolutely.
They're all in matches. And I just hope this is the end of it.
Yeah.
For now.
I do too.
Well, I mean, for now, I'm hoping like a couple of years down the road, maybe. But let's end this debacle now. No more MJF, no more Adam Cole.
I think it's time to move on from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of don't think they are. Honestly, I still think they're going to drag this out a little longer, but
like not like if it's not at a pay per view, I'm fine with it. Like if they finish it on a Fight for the Fallen, that's fine.
Yeah.
Or a Collision.
All right.
Did you see Dollywood's story that she put up? It is funny.
Put it up there, Canada Dry. I have to interject a ridiculous personal story. Noah named the smallest fish, who is also orange, at his aunt's house, Adam Cole Baby.
The poor runt fish of the litter.
But ironically, Adam Cole was not orange tonight.
He hasn't been orange in a while.
I think he listened to our rant and was like, okay, we're done.
But he was getting roasted on X.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I got to
Bad
back
for
off the
being
spray tan,
merciless
guys.
to him, you know.
So what did WrestleZone give this match?
WrestleZone gave MJF versus Adam Cole up a B
B.
plus.
Oh,
B plus?
Yeah,
I don't feel that it's valued at a B plus. So
I don't either. I don't think that was better than Okada and Ricochet. I really don't.
No.
No. I disagree with you, WrestleZone. We're going to have a talk after this.
We all do.
It's going to be a stern talk.
I mean, this is stern talk. It doesn't warrant a call out and an
No.
evisceration yet.
That it gets a finger, someone's going to be hurt really bad.
AFW, by the end of this, is going to declare war on WrestleZone.
We're going to start our own.
We're all invading their stadium. There's no
We've been
one
around
there.
for 20 years. We don't care. We're taking over now. All right, we got the AEW International Championship. Konosuke Takeshita versus Powerhouse Hobbs. I got a phone call during this match, so I wasn't as invested as I probably should have been. But from what I saw, I think this is probably the best Powerhouse Hobbs match I've ever seen. Takeshita is absolutely incredible. I've been a huge fan of him the entire time he's been in AEW. He's got the look. He's got the skill. He can sell. He's got the athleticism. He's got the technical prowess. He's like a young Okada, in my opinion. I mean, I even think he kind of looks like him, not just because he's Japanese. He literally looks like him. He's the same size and everything. Hobbs is the classic big man. He looks like a monster. He plays that role very well. And I think this was a really good match. I'm not going to say it's a great match, but I think it was really good. It's the best match I've ever seen from Powerhouse Hobbs. Canada F and Dry, what do you think of this?
I also think that this was the best Powerhouse Hobbs match. I do think this is because of Takeshita.
Yeah.
Like he's so good that he could put on make good wrestlers awesome. There was that one spot where they couldn't get up on the ropes.
Yeah.
And they sold it. The announcer sold it really good. Oh, his knee buckled, and then they just came right back up and did it. I thought that was really cool because it looked natural. I think this was. I'm gonna give this one match. I'm gonna give it an A.
Wow. Okay. An A for Powerhouse. Joe, what do you think?
Honestly, you know what my number one thought was out of this match? I hope we get that Meat Mayhem match that TK teased last year.
Didn't we eventually get it?
No, we never got it because everyone was injured. But now that everyone's healthy, I would just give me a match with like Hobbs and Archer and Cage and any other big guy you can think of. And like hopefully if Wardlow gets healthy. But I enjoyed this match. It was fun. I like I said, I agree with you. I think this is probably Hobbs' best match. And I don't think you're giving Hobbs enough credit, Canada Dry. I think
no, he's a good wrestler. but I'm just thinking logically. I've never seen a match like this from Hobbs. Takeshita comes around. Who's the common denominator in the improvement?
It's possible. Yeah. Yeah. Like I think WrestleZone. I think I would give this like a B plus. This is another good match. Like
If they give it an A or a B plus, I'm okay with that.
I think WrestleZone is just going to give it a B, a regular.
No, but let's just say what you want to give it.
B plus.
All right.
I'd say B minus.
Oh, anywhere from A to B minus.
All right. Let's see what they gave it, gentlemen. B plus.
There we go. It was a good match.
Again, I don't think that was better than Okada Ricochet, but I digress.
It was different though. It was. I think that's why it gets rateable because it was different.
I think Okada and Ricochet had the distinction of having to follow what is Ospreay and Fletcher. I think that's part of the problem.
Very true. All right. Now we have the aforementioned TBS Championship match, Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander. And I got to tell you, I know that some of our cohorts say that Mercedes is not a good wrestler. Mercedes is a damn good wrestler. When she's motivated to actually put on a good match, which there are times that she just shows up and shits the bed. She's done it before.
But I also think that this has to do with her level of opponents as well.
Yeah, it does. But I Mercedes has had some damn good matches, especially the past couple of months. Like, she's really killed it. And
Even
she's starting to...
Even outside of AEW, she's had phenomenal matches.
She's starting to look like old school NXT Sasha Banks. Like, she's actually putting on good wrestling matches again. Her timing is incredible. I mean, the way that she was just shifting from move to move and not messing it up. I mean, she looked phenomenal tonight. Statlander, of course, looked phenomenal as well. I thought this was a great match. And I think, Joe, you said this was the longest women's match in AEW history.
Yeah. This match was 24 minutes and 37 seconds long.
Now, was it the last one they had? Who was the last one that had this?
I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure when it was, but I think it was Mercedes and Stat who had the second.
Yeah, because I remember this is a deja vu moment where I thought you said that before.
Yeah. Well, Mercedes has killed it these past few months. I mean, she really has. Whether you like her or hate her, I think she's probably a miserable person. I don't know her personally, but you don't seem to hear very good things about people's interactions with her. She's a damn good wrestler. You can't take that away from her. I thought this was terrific. This is one of the best women's matches I've seen in AEW history. And honestly, I'm glad Mercedes won because she's a star. And I think she's going to continue elevating this title moving forward. And I think it was the right decision.
What are you going to grade it?
I'm going to give this a B plus. Commissioner Joe, what'd you think?
Okay, so Canada Dry already knows what I'm going to say about this match. Was this match great? Yes. But my issue is Statlander.
Okay.
Like, she gets in this Super Cena mode where she gets beat up. Like, she had that bum ankle and she had her foot in the tress, and Mercedes was sitting there stomping it. And then, like, 3 seconds later, she's up in the ring doing power moves. Like, she for the love of, like, she's great. She needs to learn to sell a little bit better. But I could say that for a lot of wrestlers in this day.
Sure.
But when you are in a title match and you are one of the stars of this company, like, I expect more from you. But
I could see that.
But I don't think it's any different than what Will Ospreay does. All of a sudden,
he doesn't sell enough either.
Yeah, he's been hit with this move, and all of a sudden he's up like a spring chicken and doing his power moves. It's the same thing.
It's a problem in modern wrestling, period.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think it is. It's not on Stat. It's on modern wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, we do need to see more selling across the board.
Oh,
I think Ospreay did a pretty good job selling tonight, for the most part. But yeah, I get what Joe was saying.
Here's my next
What do you grade it?
I think I'd give it like an A minus. I thought it was a really, really good match, and it just shows you like what can happen when the girls are given time to go out there and perform.
So originally I thought that this was going to be a 50-50 booking thing. But the reason she's there is because I feel like Monet was like, we got to do this again. We had such a good match. We got to do it again. And that's all it was. It wasn't about, it was just putting on a good match again. It wasn't about putting over Stad. It was just about having a great match.
And perhaps
It's
that's
not always about wins and it's not always about wins and losses.
yeah.
Sometimes
Very
it's
true.
just about putting on a good match.
Look, I mean, Stat got her standing ovation after she left. So obviously, Stat is over like Rover.
Yeah. So, I also give this match an A.
Okay. Real quick before we go on, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Does Mercedes win belt number 3 next week? She is facing Mina Shirakawa, and it is title for title, Rev Pro and the New Japan women title.
Yeah, I'd say she wins that.
I told some other people, was like, I want Mercedes to win now, and then I want her to win the 3rd belt just because I want to see the internet meltdown. I think it'll be
I think it's probably a pretty good bet.
I love this thing that we're doing of grading the matches with letters, and then finding out what some other website is doing. I like that.
Yeah.
Kind of validates our own things.
All right, gentlemen, you ready to see what this one got?
Yep.
So what did you say? You said A minus?
B plus.
Okay, I said
A minus.
All right.
They didn't put a fucking grade for this one. They literally didn't put a grade for this one. They just jumped on to the Continental Classic Final.
They forgot to grade it. Okay.
Shame on you, WrestleZone.
Yes, this week we're going to wag the finger at you.
Yes, you can't leave one of the women's matches out of the grading here. Come on. What, you got a quota? You can only rate one women's match?
It was a hell of a match, so I think
it was like one of the best matches of the night.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. Shame on you, WrestleZone. Shame. I'm going to find out who this guy is, and I'm going to send him a stern message. Okay?
Stern message from Mr. Isaacs.
Little oversight on the editorial department there. But we are at the Continental Classic Final. Will Ospreay versus Kazuchika Okada. Wow. Again, another banger. I sound like Sheamus. Banger after banger after banger. But I'm not going to talk about like having
it's like you have Sheamus mixed with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Banger after banger.
A banger.
It's the banger. But Dollywood says
Rebecca's helping us out.
Gave it an
A minus. So
I think that's
we're right up there. We're up there with them.
Yeah, absolutely. My God, this match was amazing. I love it. Again, I love the way Okada paces a match. Makes Ospreay kind of reel things in a little bit, but still work his style. I mean, this was like a classic New Japan matchup between these two, and I fucking loved it. I thought it was a great match. I did think Ospreay was going to win, but I'm okay with Okada winning because I love Okada. I'm a mark for Okada. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about this other than just this was a great match. I'd probably give it an A. Ospreay bleeding buckets of blood and then coming out and putting on a second classic match of the night. My God, the guy's not human. It's really not. Commissioner Joe, what do you think of this
match? I just want to mention that that pile driver on Statlander by Monet.
Oh my God,
that was such a great job.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to mention that I just remembered is the ripping off of the ring apron and having Chris's foot stuck in that. To me was brilliant.
Yeah, that was cool.
I love those little touches.
It was a great match. I know a lot of people don't like Monet, but it was a great match. Yeah. Got to give her props. But what did you think of Okada and Ospreay, Joe?
Okay, So I thought the match was absolutely phenomenal. And I 100% wholeheartedly think the wrong person won. And I'll tell you why. Okada has had this title for like 10 months now, and he's done dick all with it. He hasn't made it feel important. I've forgotten at times that he's the Continental Champion.
Maybe that changes now.
Maybe. Like me and Canada Dry here were talking. I was like, hopefully over this next year they do some massive rehab to Okada and this title if he's going to keep it. Because I know damn well, I know what Ospreay is capable of doing in making a title feel important. Just look at what he did with the international title over the summer with him and MJF.
Yeah.
Hopefully Okada becomes serious Okada, not just comedy.
That being said, what are you grading this?
I'm still giving it an A. The match was I can't let my personal bias of who I wanted to win a match take away from just how great of a match it was, especially considering when you need to keep kayfabe that freaking, according to our beloved commentators, Will Ospreay lost so much blood he had no energy and couldn't breathe. So, because good Lord, they need to work on their medical education.
Sometimes I feel like the fans want the wrestlers to win more than the wrestlers themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I get that. But here's my problem. Look, here's my problem. Will Ospreay has lost every major match for what feels like forever. And I think Will should be the face of the company. He is charismatic. He's an amazing wrestler. Like, he just knows how to connect with everybody. And you can't do that if you just constantly lose.
That's a good point. Can't F and draw.
Yeah, I thought this was an amazing match. Probably the best match on the card.
I don't know. I think I would give the opener a bit of a notch above. But
let's save that discussion for when we do match of the night. We'll circle back to that.
Yeah. This is probably for me. This was the best match. Yeah, I guess I won't mention that. But these guys they did it all, and the selling job of Will Ospreay on this, just coming in all bloodied and battered. Just this guy that went through the tournament and just got his ass kicked. I feel like that's the story of Will Ospreay in AEW. He's not going to win every match, but he's going to give his all.
Yeah.
And,
all right.
I grade this one an A.
I give it an A as well. What did you give it, Joe?
I gave it an A. I mean,
we all three agreed on A. WrestleZone, if you didn't grade this one, we've got beef.
We got beef.
Did they just quit giving ratings after the?
Oh, boo!
Here, let me hit refresh on this. Maybe they went back and edited it.
Yes.
Let me see.
That, or maybe they just had running out of time, running out of character limitations.
We gotta go. We're running out of time. Tune in next week.
While you're refreshing that, can we talk about what happened after the match?
Go ahead.
So, Okada's standing in the ring, and out comes Christopher Daniels to congratulate him and says, well, usually I'd give you the belt, but I'm not an EVP anymore. But this guy is, and out comes Kenny Omega. God, he looks so good, and it's so great to see him back.
Absolutely.
Canadian hero.
Such a great song. Love it.
Yeah. And on top of that, you get this little subtle, after they shake hands and all this, and he gets out of the ring, you get this little subtleness of Okada staring at the All In sign. And please, dear God, let Okada and Omega happen at All In, because I'm fucking going and I want to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. You know it is.
I think so. Yeah.
Dollywood says Bleacher Report gives it an A-.
Okay.
An A-.
Boo, that's too low.
I would say an A, but
A.
at least it's still in the A range, right?
I imagine
Dollywood says, what I came here for. What is CD going to do if he's not EVP anymore?
I imagine he's going to go back to his relations job. His
But I think maybe she's meaning kayfabe. Like, what is he going to do? Because he was fired by the Bucks, right? And then Tony Khan brought him back.
yeah.
I think he should be GM. Make him the GMs of these shows.
Surely he's going to stick around and do something. I mean, obviously, we know in real life he's staying with the company, but she makes a point here. We got to have a kayfabe explanation of what happens with Christopher Daniels now.
I like Christopher Daniels as that GM sort of guy.
He's like Adam Pearce without as much muscle.
Yeah. Nobody looks like he's an official in that sort of capacity, just with that suit on.
Yeah. I love Christopher Daniels. He's awesome. All right, I can't believe WrestleZone just quit grading the fucking matches like mid-show.
We're never using them for reference ever again. They're off.
Yeah, WrestleZone, you're done. Okay, I'm not going to use your results anymore. So you've lost the endorsement of the AFW network. Sorry.
So we're gonna have to find a new network for the. We're gonna go to Bleacher Report or something.
Now, there's plenty of other little ones we can do. We don't need to. We don't need to kowtow to the big corporate.
Like, look. It's not a scientific process here. I literally Google AEW World's End results and then like just pick one and click on it. So I try to make sure it's from a site I've actually heard of, though. Like I don't want to give my computer AIDS or something. You know what I'm saying?
You click on a link. From
You've been talking to Shane too much.
I don't want to get spyware AIDS from like WrestleFeedNews.co or whatever.
You're gonna get WrestleFeed in Bangalore or something like that.
You can keep your Dagestani wrestling site AIDS away from my computer, okay?
Yeah.
I don't
They have
want
these
it.
weird names like Wrestle Travel. Like Wrestle Travel.
Okay.
Grapplefans.co.org or something like that. Yeah.
All we got left is the main event, right?
Yes. Yes, we are at the cusp of the main event here for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley as the champion defending against Hangman Adam Page versus Orange Cassidy versus Jay White. Now, this is the traditional four-way clusterfuck that you always see. It was a lot of fun. It was. My concern was that this match was going to bring down the value of the show. Because I looked at it on the card, I said, this is by far going to be the worst match. And I'm not sure that it wasn't the worst match, but it was still a pretty damn good match. Like, it was chaotic, it was fast-paced.
I said I said before this match started, this feels like it's going to be like a 45-minute ending to WCW Nitro. And that's basically what we got.
Basically, yeah. We saw interference, obviously, from the other Death Riders. We got a fuck you, Yuta chant when he pulled the referee out of the ring. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I like the spot with the Shield power bomb on Moxley through the table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of cool, like subliminal storytelling there. Damn good match.
I would have liked them at this point to pick him up and do it again, because that's not enough to take out Moxley.
Right. Well, they'd
They
have to
should've
take
done
out the other table then too.
Yeah, that's what I would have liked.
No, you guys know they're only allowed to take out the Spanish announce table.
Yeah.
Well, they could have used another table. You know, just let's do it one more time.
Just do it again. And just keep doing it over and over and over.
One more time. One more time.
Due to interference, Yuta ends up attacking the referee, and
Isn't that a
I like-
disqualification?
yeah, which theoretically should be a disqualification, but of course, if it was, Moxley would still retain.
No, they
So-
explicitly said this is a 4-way match. There are no disqualifications.
Oh, is that
I
what they
think
said?
attacking the referee should be
No.
him.
Anything
You just beat
goes.
the holy hell out of him? Is that's fine.
Where's Jack Tunney when you need him?
Yeah, where's Jack Tunney?
Or Commissioner Slaughter? Give him a
You
phone.
maggot.
Moxley would do, let's be honest, Moxley would just destroy Slaughter, okay? At least Commissioner Slaughter.
Where's Gorilla Monsoon?
Oh yeah, where's Gorilla? Gorilla could come out. He could beat the fuck out of some of these guys.
Oh,
Yeah, where's he at?
Even at his older age, he'd beat the shit out of Moxley.
I'm sure he probably could. Yeah. But yeah, Moxley ends up hitting White with the Death Rider for the win, and the Death Riders are swarming and attacking at the end. FTR comes out, and they brought a friend with them. And Joe, shout out to you because you were right.
Yeah,
It was Adam Copeland.
it happened a little sooner than I thought.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be on this show.
I didn't either. Rated FTR.
And Adam Copeland looked jacked.
He did. I love his energy. Like whenever he comes back and makes an appearance, like you can tell he's very into it. He's not just here for the money. He likes the actual feel of being on the show. I just love his energy. Like I think he brings a lot of enthusiasm to the AEW product, and I like that. They came out, obviously they made the save. Copeland got on the microphone, said, "We're rated FTR, we're taking it all." And
my favorite line is he calls Moxley a kid. He says, "Yeah, I called you a kid because you were growing pubes when I started wrestling."
which is not far off considering he's been wrestling since like the mid 90s.
Yeah,
So,
like Adam Copeland was what, almost 50, right? Close to it.
Mhm.
So
I think he started wrestling in like 96 or something like that. That was a long time ago, guys. That's damn near 30 years ago.
Do you know who his first match in WWE was against?
who?
It was one of the Los Boricuas.
Oh yeah, you heard the
And
story.
he got injured. And
Yeah,
they're
he
like,
knocked
"Oh,
out
he's
the
not
guy.
gonna even-"
He knocked the guy. He did the little somersault over the top rope and knocked out the guy he was wrestling. He,
I think it was
Yeah.
a hairy guy in the group. There was one hairy
he-
guy.
he was like, I'm for sure getting fired after this.
I honestly don't remember any of their names except Savio Vega.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
But
remember
there was
any of
one
the
guy
other
that
guys?
had a hairy ass back.
I don't remember the names of any of those other guys.
No, I don't remember any of them.
So Edge is
I don't know.
51 according to Tiffany.
I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah.
He's legit been around almost 30 years, so yeah.
So this match to me, it was super fun, but at no point did you think that Moxley wasn't winning.
No. I thought Moxley was winning the whole time. I will say if Orange Cassidy had won, I would have deducted an entire point from my rating. Joe, what'd you think of this? Did you give your thoughts on the match?
Like, yeah, this was a fun match. It felt entirely too short. I think the main event was only like 13 minutes long.
Yeah.
It just
seemed
felt like
they kind of rushed it.
it felt, especially considering the whole show ended at like 11:30 ish. It just felt like the ending came out of nowhere.
I'm gonna give this show the rating of a B.
This match,
Yes.
yeah, I think a B is appropriate. But I do need to one more time. I need to stand on my soapbox here.
Oh, big
Ooh.
surprise! Get on your
Joe
show.
rants. Here we go.
What the fuck was the point of a month-long build of Moxley standing in the desert with this fucking flare signaling something, and nothing happens?
Yeah, I mean they've been teasing a while that there's some kind of like outside force or something, and then it's like they just kind of quit all that. I don't know.
Maybe they had a plan, but it didn't. It fell through.
Then,
You know,
then stop showing the stupid fucking vignette. Then
They're like, we don't have money for a new graphic.
like they ended every show with that. Like,
Yeah.
like it was like the main focus of this whole story so far.
Unless
Unless something happens on the first episode,
they're
stream,
saving it for the first episode on Max.
which is possible because they have loaded up this Max debut.
That is a very real possibility.
We're getting Garcia versus Mark Briscoe for the TNT title. The tag title match that should have happened tonight because, good Lord, just get that match over and done with.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I can't even remember everything else that we're getting. Well, there's just so much. Oh, we're getting Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart.
Julia Hart, yeah. Yeah.
So what do you give the rating on this show, Jeremy? Or on this,
This match. I'd probably give it a B.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I'll give it B's.
That's probably what I'd give it. I mean, I don't think it's lower than that. I don't think it's better than that.
Hollywood, what's the
No.
Bleacher Report grade?
Dollywood's got to. She's become our sideline reporter here.
Yeah,
Let's go to Dollywood. What was the rating for that? Because WrestleZone sucks now.
I don't want to do these grades on Dynamite After Dark. I want to do them. I'm going to save them for pay-per-views.
Well, that's a pay-per-view thing. Like you don't want to grade fucking Evil Uno versus whoever the fuck.
Right?
You know, like come on, you know.
It could be your match of the night if you want, but
right. It says it to be. Okay. All right. The very last sentence that WrestleZone put is Copeland and FTR stand tall, period. And that's the end of this whole thing. So that's the end of WrestleZone's official coverage.
It seemed like they got lazy near the end.
They did. Like,
he's phoning it in.
Why did they just quit ratings? Like just midway through the show, they quit assigning ratings.
He's like, well, I didn't really watch this. I'm just copying and pasting from some other site.
Yeah, so. Probably.
I'm getting this from Sportskeeda.
Sportskeeda's the worst.
Sportskeeda's the worst, man. I would never use anything from there. Holy shit. This is from a gentleman named.
They have a lot of clickbait.
This is from a gentleman named Colin Tessier. So Colin
Tessier, you suck.
I'm going to tweet you after this and be like, where's the rest of the ratings, pal?
And Dollywood saying, what kind of Temu Sports website is this?
Dollywood, WrestleZone.com that's an old school wrestling news site. It's been around since like probably 2001, 2002. I mean, I used to go here like when I was in college, like damn near 20 years ago.
You know what website I used to go to all the time?
What's that?
411 Mania.
I remember that. Yeah.
It's still up and running now. It's just more of an aggregator now than anything.
So we're shouting out all these. I used to go to a site that's called Lords of Pain.
Yeah, Lords of Pain.
Yeah, but now they're wrestling. Now they're called Wrestling Headlines.
Yeah, Lords of Pain. I remember Lords of Pain. I mean, these are like old school wrestling. I used to go to TWNPnews.com. That was another one.
That's when they just reported results and didn't spoil everything like they do now.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's with all these? Okay, I'm for putting up if there's a new champion during the show, but why are these wrestling brands and Facebook groups, social media, they're posting every single result from every single match? That pisses me off. That makes me want to unfollow you.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. There's a championship change. Sure, post it. But every single match. Like,
everything's about clickbait now.
Read Dollywood's last comment.
They're still using the same writers as 20 years ago. They're also they had to go to bed for the show.
That's probably what it is.
Do you guys remember OneWrestling.com?
Which one?
No, I don't remember that
one. It was Bob Ryder's website.
I remember that one, yes.
Yeah. That was one of the very, very early like instrumental wrestling sites too.
I think some of them actually cause viruses on your computer though.
Yeah, no shit. They like legit. They had like spyware that would infect your shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to go to any website where I get like wrestling website AIDS. You know, like,
yes.
I'm sorry. You can keep your Bangladeshi based wrestling website. I'll just get my results elsewhere. All right, gentlemen. We are at the end. So now
it's time for the flower shop.
Now it is apropos for us to talk about match of the night. We're not going to do segment. There were no segments. We're going to do match of the night and our overall rating. And this is brought to you by the Pro Wrestling Tee store of Adrian Adonis. The adorable Adrian Adonis. We run his Pro Wrestling Tees.com store.
It's been a while since I've heard you say it like that there, Mr. Isaacs.
Yeah, I
and you know what? I'd really be thinking about it. I need to make an Adrian Adonis flower shop t-shirt since we do this every.
You should, because it's a
that way we can put the flower shop logo up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why haven't you already done that? Somebody in AFW marketing needs to be fired. Because we should have had that up a long time ago. All right.
See, the problem is I'm thinking of all these ideas for AFW shirts.
Yeah.
It's hard to balance them both, right?
Understood.
So, do we have any special thing, or are we just doing match and rating?
Do we want to do first match and second match, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do our favorite match and then the second match. All right. Which one of you wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Mr. Joe.
My first match of the night, I'm going with the opener. Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. That match was phenomenal. I loved it. And then my second match of the night, and this isn't a slight to every other match, but I'm
Thank you,
giving my
Billy.
flowers to the ladies. So Mercedes and Chris Statlander is my second match of the night. And my bell rating, I'm giving this 4.5.
All right. Canada F and dry. What say you, pal?
I'm giving this my match of the night to Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné. I think that they put on a show. Those women just bled their hearts out there, and I think that was they just did a great job. Longest match in AEW history. And my second favorite. What?
Make sure you say our longest women's match.
Yes. I'm going to go with Okada and Ospreay for my second. And I'm going to give this pay-per-view, I'm going to give it 4.31.
Wow. I never thought I would live to see the day that I give an AEW pay-per-view a higher rating than Canada Dry.
You're Bob Barkering me, you son of a...
But you're going to see it today. You're going to see it today. So my match of the night and my number one and number two matches, it's going to be the Will Ospreay show. My favorite match of the night was Ospreay and Fletcher. Second was Okada and Ospreay. To me, those were just absolute clinics, and I absolutely loved them. Two best matches of the night. You can't go wrong with Monet and Statlander either. It's just a great night of wrestling, and for me, and I don't know, you guys might not like this comment, but it was nice to see all the best wrestlers tonight, and we didn't see. You know, I kind of get tired of seeing Jericho and his crew and the Young Bucks and the Acclaimed and Jack Perry and Britt Baker. Let all them stay at home and put your actual best wrestling talent on the show. And I feel like that's what this was. This was the best foot forward for AEW, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So for me, this had a bell rating of 4.5 bells.
You know what? Like for me, what it is like AEW has a tendency to over rely on tag team wrestling.
Yeah,
and I think they don't put a shine enough on singles wrestling.
Yeah, I can see that.
There was no tag team wrestling on the show,
and I think it's for the better of the show because,
like, how much better was this without the fucking Acclaimed? Let's be real. Let's be real here.
I mean, they're going to be on pay-per-view soon. They're getting ready to feud.
No, but you could have had the Swerve and the Bobby Lashley match.
Now, that's my one gripe. I do wish Swerve had a match here. Like, Swerve he spent over half the year as AEW champion, and you don't have a match for him at the end of the show, end of the year show. I thought that was kind of whack. You could have put him in somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's my thoughts.
Here's my question. What do you cut to put them on then?
I would have cut.
Just make it longer.
Yeah, either that or I would have cut like Orange Cassidy out of the main event and put Swerve in. Okay. So that way you have Swerve and Hangman. You can kind of do their thing in the match too.
That would have worked.
And then, yeah, that's what I liked to have seen personally. But anyways, minor gripe aside, I thought this was a great show.
Yeah. Our average is 4.44.
We're all fours. All right. 4.44.
So tune in tomorrow where we are giving away our year-end 2024 All Effin' Wrestling Awards. So it's going to be our year-end wrap-up show where we hand out our best wrestlers from all the different promotions. It's going to be a good show. We got got some good names and big stars that we're giving these awards to.
There were some heated debates.
Oh yeah.
Joe's like, can we just say that every WWE guy sucks?
No. Trust me.
I like to give Joe shit because he's such an
I will say there is a little bit of a spoiler. One of the awards that I wanted to do was the Asshole of the Year award, and
you're all gonna pick Punk, right?
I didn't give it to Punk. I wanted to give it to Punk.
Now let's not tell him who it was. Let's not tell him who it was.
You have to tune in tomorrow to find out who wins that award.
You guys, did you see the thing at Madison Square Garden last night where Punk came out with his with his bath towel on?
No,
you gotta admit that was fucking funny.
That was stupid.
That was so funny. If that happened at AEW, you guys would be
time out, Mister. Yes, is it funny? Yes, but this is implying that man was taking a shower because not only did he have a towel on, he had a fucking hairnet on to keep his hair.
Yeah.
How did he know? Was he watching TV in the shower?
Well, somebody obviously came to the door and tipped him off, Joe. I mean, come on. That's not too unbelievable here. Hey, Punk, there's some shit going down in the ring. We need you. All right, hold on. Let me put my shower cap on so I don't get water everywhere.
Oh, God. and then the other thing, you sit there and you had WWE advertise that Cody is holding up both belts at the end of this house show, right? And then the next night on SmackDown, KO has the belt again and won't give it up.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's
no. That's how show shenanigans that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
Not when you put it on your face, not when you put it on socials.
There's been tons of like title changes.
No, but WWE's not putting it on, right?
No, it was on WWE socials.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the fans who were doing it.
No.
Bit of a continuity error. Yeah. Remember,
that's like when Owen Hart won the world title at a house show.
This is kind of like old school WWE because I don't know. Canada Dry, you probably remember this. I don't know if you would remember this, Joe, or not, but they used to have almost like two different universes for WWE. They had WWE and then they had WWE in New York. And it was almost like two completely different things. Do you remember this, Canada Dry? Like they would run separate shows and like they had their own show called WWF New York. And it was like they ran New York shows almost non-canonical to the rest of WWE for a period of time back in like the 90s. Very strange, but maybe they're hearkening back to that.
Yeah, I think they just want to give some people some crazy stories for Christmas. That's all.
I almost saw CM Punk's dick when he came out to save Cody.
That thing was so small.
And it had a Pepsi logo on it.
Oh,
all right, KNF and Dry.
Hold on. It's been announced. Fight for the Fallen, rated FTR versus Mox, Claudio, and Yuta.
So we just know who they're fighting then.
It should have been Pac, and it should have been for the trios titles. That's what they should have did.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Maybe they'll do that.
They were involved tonight, though. So makes sense.
KNF and Dry, I will turn this over to you for the official closing festivities.
All right, let me just get my outro ready, and then I'll be able to go. So I know the holidays are hard, but and it's okay to be down. It's not okay to stay down. So reach out to your friends, your family, your community, your church, whoever you find strength in. Let them lift you up. And if you don't have that, reach out to us and we'll help you. Depression is real, and you just can't give into it. That's the important thing. If you need to get the medication, but don't give in. Raise your fists in the air, put the devil in a sharpshooter, and just keep fighting.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Tony Schiavone for the All Fan
Tony
Wrestling
Schiavone.